What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your brewmaster-in-chief. And tonight, in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with another Smoldering Egg deck. I know, we just had one, but I couldn't help myself. I was having so much fun with the card. I started to look at like other color combinations that it could be played in, and I settled on Rakdos, so the color combination black and red. And without further ado, let's jump into tonight's brew. We'll do the usual, sort of run the deck from left to right, describe the various play lines and interactions, then we're going to jump into some gameplay, hopefully get to show off most of those interactions against some opponents, and then we'll jump back into the deck at the end with my final thoughts and potential modifications and deck upgrades. So, what do we got? We've got a full playset of Professor's Warning. Such a versatile little one drop. It's sort of like Mono Black's version of Snakeskin Veil. Instead of hexproof, you gain indestructible, and you get to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. I like this very much because we were having trouble yesterday and also in testing keeping the Smoldering Egg and Manaform Hellkite on the battlefield. They are both, removal magnets. They're the type of card that the opponent knows, like, oh, okay, right now it's already pretty good, but like, the longer it sits on the board, it's just going to get better for the opponent. I need to get rid of it. So if we can give those creatures indestructible, fantastic. I wish we had a way of doing hexproof because our main enemy here is Vanishing Verse, as these two cards are both mono-colored permanents. But indestructible has been doing the job for me against most of the rest, like, all your sweepers and things like that. Fantastic. And sometimes even against Meathook Massacre, the opponent will choose X is 4 exactly because, they got 4 toughness, these two creatures, and then you just put a +1/+1 counter on one of them, and suddenly they're outside of the Meathook Massacre's range, which I find to be just amazing. Then, we've got, oh, of course, and it's also just a cheap cantrip for the Ashmouth Dragon. Sometimes you just need like a cheap spell in hand to be able to do 2 damage to any target with the Ashmouth Dragon. Professor's Warning really shining in that case as well. Then we've got a full play set of Dragon's Fire. Of course, it's a dragon deck. We can potentially do 5 damage if we cast an Invoke Despair and Manaform Hellkite is in play. We get the 5/5 Dragon Illusion, so we can do 5 damage with Dragon's Fire. But usually we don't have like 7 mana to do an Invoke Despair or Invoke Calamity and a Dragon's Fire. But still pretty cool. If it is an Invoke Calamity and Dragon's Fire is in the graveyard, then we do get the 5/5, and then we get to recast Dragon's Fire, or, if it could also be in our hand. So fantastic little bit of interactions there between those 3 cards. Smoldering Egg, I already touched upon yesterday. We just want this thing to sit on the board and collect Ember tokens or Ember counters until it reaches 7, at which point it transforms into Ashmouth Dragon, and then we start doing some serious damage to the opponent. With all of our cantrips, we can often dual cast into this guy and do 4 damage and then swing in for 4. Doing a total of 8 in one turn is pretty good. Especially if it's going alongside, Hellkite and all of the illusions that you'll be creating every time you cast a spell as well. Then, we did want some hard removal. We're splashing black, not just for Invoke Despair, but, we wanted some, just destroy. That doesn't rely on, it having to be a dragon, a non-dragon creature. In testing, I ran up against the inevitable 1 or 2 Goldspan Dragon decks, and then just Draconic Intervention is a completely dead card in that matchup. So it was nice to just have something that is just clean and simple, like Hero's Downfall. I'm liking it more and more. There's just no upside, no downside, no nothing. It's just 3 mana, instant speed, creature or planeswalker, ba-boom, gone, bye-bye. And it's a great turn 3 play to do if you don't have Seize the Spoils. You just destroy something the opponent has. It ends up in the yard. Now you have a 3 mana thing that you can exile to Draconic Intervention. If necessary, you can do a 3 damage sweeper against mono white and Naya aggro. That's pretty damn good, especially at turn 4. Then we've got a full playset of Seize the Spoils to help us churn through our deck. And I like how with Invoke Calamity, we've got a lot of these combinations of instants and sorceries where we always get to use the full 6 mana value that we get to cast for free with Invoke Calamity. So even if it's just we're recasting an Invoke Despair from the graveyard and Professor's Warning, Or we could do, you know, 2 Seize the Spoils, or 1 Seize the Spoils, 1 Hero's Downfall. Or you could do, you know, a Draconic Intervention and a Dragon's Fire. There's always a combination of 2 instants and sorceries that we have that will reach 6, and therefore Invoke Calamity never gets like any of its value wasted, which is fantastic. Then we've got a full playset of Draconic Intervention. This is a Dragon's deck, again coming back from yesterday's deck. Fantastic. This time going with the full playset. I'm finding it's just amazing against the so many decks right now, especially you know, Naya, the Cami of Transience keeps coming back whenever an enchantment ends up in their graveyard. With this, it's exiled, so bye-bye, not coming back ever again. And there's, you know, plenty of other reasons why exile is really good in the format right now. So I'm just more and more loving Draconic Intervention. Then we've got a full playset of the Manaform Hellkite, coming back again from yesterday's brew, but this time as a full playset. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you create an XX Red Dragon Illusion creature token with flying and haste, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast that spell. Exile the token at the beginning of the next end step. So fantastic, can be used also defensively. You know, sometimes the opponent swings in, and we've got some instant speed stuff. We can't, you know, maybe remove one of the things that they're attacking with, and then we get the illusion, and we can use that as blockers during the opponent's attack step. But in this version of the deck, I'm really trying to use them offensively, and you know, swing in for 9 damage after casting Invoke Despair. So not only do you cast Invoke Despair and do all of the terrible things to the opponent that Invoke Despair does, but you're also getting a 5/5 flyer with haste, and you've already got the Hellkite in play, and you can swing in for 9. If the opponent's board is empty, that's a total of 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 damage in 1 turn. So potentially game-ending stuff right there. Don't forget, unfortunately, that the spells that we get for free off of Invoke Calamity will not be creating Dragon Illusions, because we are not spending any mana to cast that spell, and they will not be putting any Ember counters on the Smoldering Egg. But you do get the triggers off of the Ashmouth Dragon, because you are casting the spells. So you do get to still do the 2 damage to any target. So you would get 3 Ashmouth triggers off of 1 Invoke Calamity, which is pretty freaking nice. And that's the deck. It's very simple, and I like those decks, you know, where it's just 4 ofs of everything, a very harmonious mana base that, you know, just ticks all the BrewLab tick boxes for me, and you know, makes it very consistent. Therefore, you're almost always going to be drawing every single card in this deck. Mana base, as usual, we got 1 of each of the creature lands, 2 of each of the new legendaries, and 2 Field of Ruins. The rest are just some dual lands and some basics. So that's the brew. Let's jump into some games. We'll be taking this for a spin on the unranked ladder. I've started my mythic push to try and end up into the top 1,200. I'm sitting on like 94, climbing back up there today painstakingly from around 86% where I'd fallen yesterday. So I don't want to risk damaging my rank on this last day of the month. I'm going to be just having some fun with this. And, nah, I think we'll mulligan that. Okay, okay, shuffler. Oh, gosh. Alright. Well, I don't want to mulligan twice on the play. But we might just have to. That is almost unplayable. Okay. Come on, give me a red source, please. Please, deck. Oh, not life gain. Oh, well, at least we got removal for their Righteous Valkyrie. Oh yes, it's definitely life gain. Okay, where's my red lands? Deck? I want to seize the spoils. Get something instant speed there, maybe a Fateful Absence. Still no red lands. It's weird when it does stuff like this. Like, there's only 4 basic swamps in the whole deck, and we've got the first, the 3 of them in the top 5 cards of our library or whatever. There's the Valkyrie. He might have Snakeskin Veil or something. Yep. Okay, that's fine. We get to and now I really just want my red land like yesterday. What's going on here? Ay. All my red cards, none of my red lands. Just my luck, huh? Unranked. Life gain. Oh, shit. On to the next one. Also just getting completely mana screwed there. I don't know what the hell was going on with the shuffler in that one. Would have been a much different game if we'd been able to use some of our red cards earlier on. On to the next one. You cowboy. That's another mulligan. Alright. Again? Please not again. Yeah, that's quite nice. If it is life gain. Come on. It's the problem with unranked, unfortunately, but you'll just have to bear with me. Does mean we do get to play more matches, which is not a problem at all. Can change the art. Dantar. All caps. Dantar. Meh. Finally, a hand with with our Smoldering Egg in hand. Again, Selesnya. That's 3 in a row. Unbelievable. Okay. Do want to go for this. No lands. Hopefully I don't come to regret that, but I think we can flip the egg with a Draconic quite nicely. Next game. Next turn. Hopefully a land so we don't have to burn the treasure to do so. Holding Wilds. Nice blocker here. Or Skadoosh. We have flipped the egg, ladies and gents. Egg flambe. Belladar treats good, but we do have some Draconics to deal with these little kitties. We could just lead out with Hellkite for now. He's probably going to want to go wide first before he starts putting counters on things. And anyway, we can do it. Ooh. Oh, that's going to be great.
Those who harm the forest.
We get a red land. We need more lands. Having some land issues. Oh well, we can just win. Oh yeah, baby. Nice. Very nice. I was so much more terrified of this Tree Folk token back in the day when Ren first dropped. Now I'm just like, there's so many ways around it. On to the next one. I hope you guys can't hear this fan behind me. But yeah, it was too hot yesterday and I didn't want to do another video with my shirt off. I think some people weren't too happy about that. I got a couple of unsubscribes. So I better put my shirt on, but I have had to crank the fan louder. I hope you guys can't hear it over the mic. The living historians were founded by Reiki and Azusa and tattoo Kamigawa's history on their skin. Balather. Cool name. Alright. Mono red aggro. Alright, maybe burn? Whew. Okay, well, their hand is pretty empty, but we're going to take some damage. Don't think they have that sort of removal. One can only hope. And we can Invoke Despair next turn. Okay. We have. Whew. Okay. Oh, I should have double swinged, but I'm worried there's something with haste in his hand. Cannot believe we're getting Thermo Alchemist out. Whew. We did it. Gotcha. Lucky. He had to use the little ninja there, or the samurai, to go and draw a card, and he didn't find another burn spell, so... Whew! Close one. Very close. When cards are stacked together on the battlefield, you can click on the quantity number to select all of them while attacking and blocking. Nenezzo. Okay. Smoldering Egg in my opening hand. Always like to see. Now we just need lands. Seize the spoils would be even better. Land and seize the spoils would be. Oh, yay. Smoldering Egg is a fantastic blocker against these guys, but they do often run Thundering Rebuke or whatever. Oh, wow, okay. Never mind. Orator. Let's go with the Dragon's Fire. The Showdown of the Skulls. No. Wonder where you'll put the counters. Need lands. This keeps happening. Oh, it just drives me nuts when the aggro opponent has more lands than me. It's the wrong land. We'll have to make do. It was just a little too late. Get that one more land next turn though would be pretty amazing. Ay. Just drives me nuts. Not getting lands is the worst thing ever. It's like a bad joke. God, that's so frustrating. So frustrating. My God. Oh, lordy. Don't even know why I'm still bothering. Freaking Battlefield Raptor. Can you believe it? You got lucky, my friend. You got lucky. On to the next one. Some land problems, huh? I'm thinking we should maybe trim one of each of the invokes and just put in an just go with 3 of each. And just go boopity bappity. See if that makes any difference. Because yeah, getting screwed a little bit too often. We're going up to 26 from 24. We might have to end up also going down to like 1 of each of the legendary lands that we're playing. Because, yeah, having some trouble with those as well, if you guys have noticed during gameplay. Where we often top deck the land we need, but we've already got 1 of those on the board. That one guy. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, I'll definitely keep that. Seize the spoils into go get red. Does appear as though that is the main sort of thing we got going here. Rixis. Aha. Go blank. One of the most frustrating cards to play against. Can Invoke Calamity, the Invoke Despair. No, we can't. I swear, man, this card is just really, really frustrating. Two blue could be. Telling you, counter spells are just not a thing anymore. Most people just don't run them. Like, there's some odd copies of like tested talents, that sort of thing. Christ Wave, new bounce spell that's taken over from Divide by Zero. Come on, play a gold span. Love to see you do that. You feel the ruins is my hive. I will get another red source so we can invoke Calamity without having to burn the treasure. Are you kidding me? Where's my professor's warning when I need it? I can feel he's got something there he wants to try and kill my Hellkite with. Those two back-to-back go blanks. They're just terrible. Let's just get in for 4 and pass the turn. Hold up the downfall.
That's Professor Onyx to you.
Well, might as well.
My motivation's withered. Well, darn. Looks like you flunked out. Mwah.
No problem. We'll get a black source so we can also hardcast our Invoke Calamity. If we top deck one now, that would be amazing. We could, I don't know what really. I guess we could Draconic Intervention. That's a sorcery speed. Whew. This is our one way around this. I know it was going to get countered, Now we need to hope to draw a second. Fantastic. Phew. Got lucky. Path of Peril. Xanathar. What is this deck? No way, man. What is this? Nonsense. Wow. Okay, like just everything. That was an incredible brew. Like, I doubt that goes off for you very often, my friend. But well done, well done. How are we doing for time? All right. Probably got a couple more matches left in us. A little bit less mana problems there. So those adjustments might have been kind of necessary. Also, just removing 2 of the 5 drops, you know, it's like that. You just end up with too many hands with too many 5 drops in that you can't cast. Sure. Hello, Cletus. What's going on, brother? Again with the Izzet Lance. Okay. Some kind of Magecraft shenanigans. Don't like doing that though. I'd rather just weaken Draconic. There we go. Got the backup. Would have liked to get a land there. Okay. Pay 6. That's a rubbish card. What are you doing playing this thing? First Hellkite. I've not had a professor's, what's it called, warning in hand since we started playing. Sure. Toodaloo. Please don't come again. Agar, the freezing flame. Random stuff going on tonight, like. So what's that? Aha! Aha! Might have counterspell, but it'll still flip the egg. And we got the treasure for the Professor's Warning, which is quite nice. Perfection. We got lethal if he has no way of dealing with this. Burn down the house is obviously a huge problem. Okay, so which one are we saving? Probably best to keep the Ash Mouth. Yeah, probably best to keep the Ash Mouth. Alrighty. Finally getting to show off why we're keeping full playset of Professor's Warning in the deck. And we have arrived at the 45-minute mark. So I think I'm not going to jinx it and leave it at that. We've ended on a win. The deck did its thing. We got to show off all the various playlines and interactions that I'd hoped to show off. Casting the Invoke Calamity less times than I would have hoped to. In testing, I casted it a lot more times, but that's okay. You still get the idea. And yeah, that's the brew. I wouldn't change a thing. I do like the addition of the 2 more lands. It did make things a lot more consistent. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the matter in the comments down below. But that's going to be it for tonight's video, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you all tomorrow for some fresh brews. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.